I'm Dylan Bowden.
I'm Ryan Betson.
Tear your tickets, take your seats. It's time for popcorn.
You can reserve your seat every Friday at 9 a.m. on YouTube and all podcast services around the globe. If you want to join the conversation, you can head to facebook.com/thepopculturists, as well as our Facebook community group. If you want to have the most conversation, though, you can head to the Discord group. Link is in the description. If you really, really like what we do, head over to the patreon.com/thepopculturists. There may be a tier there that interests you. He's back. Familiar face. Hey, man.
Hi.
How was your trip?
Good. I just got to say first that once you go to LA for 9 days, you're just never the same.
So you know where the sunny's inside now?
Yeah. Well, once you've lived in LA for 9 days, you're a different person.
I was thinking that, though. Like, whether you would... whether, you know, if you've made the trip, whether you'd become a brand new person.
Yeah. It's very chill there. Yeah.
So if you haven't already noticed, this episode's going to be a little bit different than usual. Probably going to be a bit shorter. We're going to, piss off the news, piss off the main topic. Dylan went to the place where they make movies. He went to some cool things. I want to talk about that. So tell us, from day one, how did it all go down?
I got on a plane and went to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, and went to the heart of Hollywood.
No.
Yeah. Where the movies are made, the magic happens. Yeah, it was good.
Wait, are they just like sunnies put on the top of your regular glasses?
No, they're not blue tacked on at all. So don't even try and look for the blue tack.
All right, so what sort of movie? I'm just baffled by your sunnies, to be honest.
Thank you.
So what movie things did you do while you were there?
Well, I was excited to go to a couple of different things that I'd seen many years from my childhood. One of them was Universal Studios. So I think Universal Studios is the only operating movie studio that has backlots where they shoot actual movies, as well as being a functioning theme park.
But it's same as Movie World here, but bigger.
Yeah, it's true. So what they had at Universal that I've seen from a child onwards is the backlot tour, where you go on your little bus and it goes around and you have Jaws come out of the water and he attacks you.
Did you see Jaws come out of the water?
I did see Jaws. He was on the other side of the train. It was disappointing. But yeah, so there were a few things. I wanted to see the Jaws come out of the water. Yeah. I wanted to see, which is of course in Mallrats.
Of course.
But I'm not sure if that's the Universal Studios in Florida or Universal Studios in Hollywood. And King Kong, when I was a little kid, I saw that they had, when the train goes through, there was this giant animatronic King Kong and it shakes it, and then you go a little bit further down and he's climbing on a building and he kind of reaches for the track. But there was a fire about 10 years ago at Universal Studios and that all caught on fire and burnt down. So they replaced it with the Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Okay, you do like that King Kong though?
Yeah, I do like that King Kong. It's good King Kong. There's Skull Island now, so it's a bit outdated.
Okay, true. Yeah.
But what happens is you go on the tour and it takes you down certain places. You go down like a little suburb, which is like Wisteria Lane from Desperate Housewives, and they use it for I think awesome. The Burbs as well. With Tom Hanks is another set that they use for it. You've got the Psycho house from Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Yeah. And there's the guy dressed as Norman Bates standing out the front. And then you go on to the King Kong one. So when you go through King Kong, it's a screen that's 360 degrees all around you. And you wear 3D glasses. And essentially you arrive and it's kind of like the V-Rexes versus King Kong. Yeah. And so the V-Rex arrives and tries to attack you. And it shakes and rumbles and the spit, they sneeze on you, and then King Kong jumps out the jungle and it's kind of fighting around you, so they leap over and they wrestle each other, and then you kind of fall into the vines and the Tyrannosaurus or the V-Rexes are kind of swinging towards you and trying to snap you, and King Kong pulls them away, holds you in the thing, and it kind of rolls around. So that was pretty cool. It was a lot to take in because you don't know where to look, you don't know what's going to happen next. But the latest thing that they've added to that is the Fast and the Furious Supercharged. What? So you get to a certain point and you drive into this area and there's to the side there's all these people dancing, and it's like, I guess it's like a hologram, but it's like a 3-dimensional hologram, so they look like they have dimension to them. They're not just a flat image. And all these girls are dancing, And then some wanky actor FBI guy comes out. Everybody get out of here! Blah blah blah. Looking for Dominic Toretto. And then The Rock turns up, and Vin Diesel turns up.
In their little 3D silhouette thingy.
Yeah, so they're like physically.
Like,
look
no,
like
it's the actual Rock. He's kind of chilling out.
Yeah, well, he comes on the screen and talks, but then he's actually like this 3D version, and Vin Diesel's there, and Tyrese is there, and Michelle Rodriguez, and they all kind of talk like, "Hey guys, help us get this thing back." Blah 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 blah, whatever. Anyway, so then again, like the King Kong, it's 360 on each side. You're wearing 3D glasses, and it's just this crazy ride of driving down the street. They get on like trailers, and they've got like hooks on the back of them, and they kind of like swing over to each other. And then there's these tanks coming on, and Luke Evans is the one from Fast and Furious 7, I think it is 6, 7, maybe in 5, I don't know, whatever one Luke Evans is in. And he's like shooting tank things, and it's just flying, and you can feel the wind rushing past, and it feels like it's speeding along, and all these crazy explosions like, grab my hand, Dom, and they flip around and all this crazy stuff, and then they finish the thing and they're like, thanks for helping us guys, blah blah blah. And The Rock's over here away from Vin Diesel, and Vin Diesel's over there because they fight each other, they don't like each other in real life. And I don't know if they shot it all at the same time, because they're just kind of like generic looking at each other kind of thing. But it was surreal seeing this kind of... It didn't look solid. It looked like it was a projection, but it looked like you could see all the way around them. Yeah. So they weren't just flat.
So if they reached out, it would look like they were reaching out, sort of thing.
Not necessarily that kind of 3D. That if they turned, you'd see all their back, and they had a solid round head.
So it's like obviously projection from like 4 different locations, sort of thing. Yeah.
So that was pretty awesome. And then of course they have Jurassic Park to ride there.
How was it?
I went on that one in Japan as well, so it was very similar. I don't know if
not the same trip, obviously.
No, of course not. But yeah, they got the big T-Rex that comes down and tries to bite you, and you go on the slow water tour. They had the Mummy ride, which was...
Is it the new Mummy or the old Mummy?
It's based on the old Mummy. I think the Tomb of the Dragon Lord or Dragon Emperor or whatever that one was with Jet Li.
They just rebrand it with a new one?
They got posters for it, but it's still based on the old one.
Mm-hmm.
Transformers the ride. That was pretty cool. Where again you sit in like a 6-person kind of capsule, and it's a 3D projection of the Transformers, and it rocks around, and they spit on you or put water on you or blow wind on you. Yeah, water's their thing. And the Transformers pick you up and kind of throw you. And then Megatron bursts in, tries to fight, and Optimus Prime pushes him off, and then you fall off a building and he grabs you just in time. That's pretty epic. What else did they have there? Yeah, well, that was Universal at least.
And so did it meet your childhood expectations?
Again, we had a fast pass, so that means you can go on the ride straight away if you pay an exuberant amount of money more than everyone else.
Did you feel special?
Not special, but at least it
almost
saved
every
me a
jerk
lot
had
of time.
fast pass.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we got to go on all the rides at least, which was good. But yeah, there's just so much to see that you kind of get whisked through. I saw Beetlejuice. He was pretty cool. Spot on Beetlejuice, going around talking to people. SpongeBob SquarePants, Shrek. There's like this weird little hut and donkeys in it.
Okay. Like his DreamWorks at Universal?
Yeah, I don't know why they were there, but they were there. And Donkey would be like an animatronic donkey, but somebody's voicing him as Eddie Murphy in the background, so he'd talk specifically to people. That was pretty cool. We got a picture with Megatron and Bumblebee, and Megatron was talking smack on me. Because Bumblebee doesn't talk, he just does music. So somebody like comes over and he play, I'm so excited, but they're all like copyrighted versions, so it was like somebody doing a cover of it. But then Megatron was there, and it seemed like it wasn't just things programmed to him to say.
Dude standing there with
it must have been, because he was like giving me shit, saying
he was like, "Here, fatty."
Yeah, I was doing
really mean.
I was doing like he's like I was doing like claw things like him, and he's like, "What are you doing? Who's responsible for this idiot?" And just giving me shit, and I just like felt bad. I'm like, "Fuck you, Megatron."
And then Jacinto walks up, your partner, and he's like, "Hey, bro."
Yeah, and he's like, "Are you responsible for this loser? How you doing?" Yeah, so that was cool. But then they got people. I think in Disneyland they had like stormtroopers walking around, First Order stormtroopers from The Force Awakens.
You also went to Disneyland.
There, Disneyland was there as well. Disneyland's again another thing that I've been excited for many years.
Hell yeah!
The real original Disneyland. But yeah, they had First Order Stormtroopers, and they'd have like 10 different sayings that they just kind of repeat, like generic things, move along, and these are the droids you're looking for, and things like that. Got to meet Darth Vader. I thought I was in line for a ride, and then like 10 minutes in the waiting in the line, they're like, "This isn't a ride. This is just to meet Darth Vader." I'm like, "Oh, cool."
Well, I'm so here.
Yeah. So they had Star Tours there, which is like was closed on the day that I went to it in Japan.
Bruins.
But apparently there's 3 different kind of cycles it goes through. So you go through a line, and it's got a video. And Star Tours is like the tourist attraction in the galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
So they present it as this tour bus that goes around the galaxy, and you can visit planets. R2-D2 and C-3PO are there as animatronic robots, and they kind of argue with each other. You've got the Mon Calamari, like Admiral Akbar, up in like a little operations room at the top, and they're moving around talking to each other. Then you go on the Star Tour, and you put on glasses, and you go and sit down, and it travels. You start out in like a hangar, and it's like, oh no, the Imperial forces are here, and they start shooting at you. And it short circuits and flies away, and C-3PO is driving, so he's at the front of it driving along. This is like an animatronic version. And yeah, we went to... Where did we go? I think we went to... Flying through like just starships at first. The Millennium Falcon flies past. You do this kind of thing. It's in 3D, so things are kind of flying out.
3D seems to be a big thing here.
Yeah, they pushed the 3Ds. And then we went to... Hoth, I think, and then we went to Naboo, and it kind of like flies through, like in Naboo you arrive, and then you go under the water, and the giant monster tries to kind of eat you, and there's always a bigger fish, and all that kind of stuff, and then you kind of land on the planet and crash into the hangar bay, and like the Naboo starfighter point at the end kind of smashes through the windshield and kind of goes right in your face. So that was pretty awesome. That was impressive and fun.
Sounds fucking amazing.
Yeah, I got to meet Darth Vader, got to meet Boba Fett, and they also had Chewie there, but I missed out on seeing Chewie.
Oh, brilliant.
And they had a lot of the props from the movies. They had a lot of Force Awakens.
Like all extra, is this
Rogue
all
One
part
as
of the
well.
Star Tour?
It's in like the lobby of the Star Tours, because at the moment they're building Star Wars Land.
That's right,
so
yeah.
I think 2019 that'll be finished.
We'll get enough time to save up and go again, you reckon?
Yeah, hopefully.
What year is it now?
17.
Okay,
End
cool.
of
So it was
17.
18 for a moment then.
Yeah, so it's pretty awesome there. They had all those kind of props and things like that. What else did they have?
Well, I saw a very cool video of a surprisingly good animatronic Rocket Raccoon.
Oh, yeah, that was... so there's Disneyland, and then there's Disney California Adventure Park.
Yeah.
And they're side by side. So that's more of the kids kind of side. They got Cars Land, and I took a lot of footage and showed little Ryan and made him jealous. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Cars Land, and what else? They had like just the old school Disney kind of things like Dumbo and Snow White and things. But yeah, the Tower of Terror, I think it's called, is like the big drop. And it used to be the Haunted Mansion Tower of Terror, where it was like all ghosts and things, and stops on every level. So the first one we went to was they've redone it up as Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
So you go through the lobby, and while you're waiting, you're in the collector's house or his collection room. So it's got all these glass cases with Ultrons and all the kind of different weapons that they've got in Guardians of the Galaxy. I think they even like the Cosmic Cube and things like that. Yeah, and then you go into the area, and there's like a screen, and the collector's talking trash about his elaborate collection, and then you hear Rocket Raccoon's voice mimicking what he's saying, like he's heard this video 100 times. And if you look up in the corner, Rocket Raccoon's ripping out cords and things like that, and he like tells you, the audience downstairs, like, what you got to do is we're going to plan an escape. The Guardians are trapped in his collection. His hands don't scan because he's a raccoon, so you have to raise your hands when you go through. And you go into the thing, and you sit into the seats, and it goes up like, I don't know, 10 stories or something, and then drops. And
Is it all inside a building? This is not outside?
This is all inside the building.
Oh my God.
And then it drops, and you land, and the doors will open, and then one of the characters will jump down, and all the actors have filmed parts in it.
Yeah.
So like Star-Lord will jump down as Chris Pratt, and you'll be like, hey, thanks for helping us, guys. And then like the giant monster from the start of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 will jump up behind him and pull him away. And then it drops down, the door's shut, and it drops down, and then another thing happens, and it flies back up again. And at the very end, it goes right to the top and opens up to the whole park and takes a photo.
Okay, good. Yeah, because that's
down.
is with what is it? What's the one? Has it here? Dreamworld?
The drop, I think. It's
Yeah,
called.
where you kind of go
Giant drop.
and it's horrible because you're just looking at horrible height.
Yeah.
At least this is kind of cool because it's a bit more.
Yeah, you feel it go up, and you literally like lift out of your seat and drop down, like bouncing in your seat. But yeah, you get to see the top of the park at the end, but it's all these little videos that play out, and then you land at the bottom and like, hey everybody, thanks for helping us, and it's got everyone, Gamora, Drax, Groot, Baby Groot. Yeah, so that was pretty awesome.
What else was there? Did you go to so is this the Disneyland that has like the Magic Kingdom and all these other cool things?
I think all the Disneylands had the Magic Kingdom, which is the castle that you see at the start of the Disney thing. That's in the center of Disneyland and Disney World and Tokyo and Paris, I think. The ones that they have there are Pirates of the Caribbean. So they have like Fantasyland, Frontierland, I can't remember the other one, Adventureland, and like the one that has Space Mountain and what is it called? Tomorrowland, like the movie. So we went on. Most of them are like kind of rides that you just kind of sit on and things happen around it. So the Jungle Cruise, which is the one they're turning into a movie with The Rock, is kind of like you sit on this jungle thing and there's like rhinoceroses chasing people and like natives that are like stereotypically not quite politically correct. A whole lot of stuff like that. What did we do there? Jungle Cruise, Pirates of the Caribbean, anything that they've turned into an actual movie already.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. I was a bit disappointed in Pirates of the Caribbean because it's like there's a good minute of just empty caves and you're like, is anything actually going to happen on this ride? And then the pirates eventually start turning up. In the Japan one, it was the same kind of thing, but it seemed more cohesive. This one was, I don't know if it was under construction or something.
It's always empty rooms.
Yeah.
There should have been shit here, but there wasn't.
Yeah, it was like, start with something big and then go to empty cave for a minute and then get up to it.
So, judging by, once again, from your photos from Facebook, you went to the Simpsons Land.
Yeah, they had Simpsons. That was at Universal Studios. So Simpsons Land had the big, if you ever played The Simpsons Tapped Out, Krusty Land. So it's got the giant Krusty face and a roller coaster. There was Moe's Tavern that we had lunch at. And in Moe's Tavern there's a bar, and there's in the center of the room is a pool table, but you can sit at the pool table and eat food. It's got the love tester. I did that a couple of times. Got like sour fish or whatever it is at the bottom. But then I did see other people getting like high ones as well. This little kid did it once and he got like whatever it is, Mad Lover at the top. And then his dad, you could see him, made him do it again just to see, and he got the exact same thing twice. Like, well, come on. And yeah, so that was Moe's Tavern. Then they also had the Quickie Mart.
Yeah.
So we went to the Quickie Mart, got some Duff beer. They had slushies there as well. Giant donuts, that are like literally like cakes.
That looked like a huge fucking donut.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. They had chocolate ones and the sprinkle pink ones. They had different people sitting around. There was Milhouse sitting at a bench there. Like they got these little made out like kind of statues. They had Lou and Eddie from the police force, Chief Wiggum as well. And then they had actual people in suits walking around. Homer, Such a Bob was there as well. But yeah, like it's kind of surreal with all the different
feel
kind of
like
things.
The Simpsons?
Well, there's a lot of people around, and you know it's like a tourist destination, so you got to kind of pretend nobody else is there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like giant versions of them. It wasn't actually like a real building where it said Moe's. It was kind of like a cartoon, bubbly kind of version of things. But it was pretty cool to see all those. They had the Androids comic book store, the comic book guy. That was just a front. You couldn't go into that one. Even like the music store that's next to Moe's Tavern, where Homer got the read for Lisa.
Cool.
Yeah, all sorts of different things. It was pretty epic.
Because like for me, like regardless of whether you can get in there or not, like it'd be cool to sort of just. It's like when I walked into the Hall of Justice at Movie World. Like it's moving. Yeah. Like walking up and seeing Moe's, that would be moving.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like seeing things you've seen in your childhood, especially when it's cartoon and it's not something you could physically go to, but that's the closest thing. And to go inside as well.
And it looked like?
Kind of. It's a little bit different because it's a restaurants attached to them as well. But yeah, exactly. So that was pretty awesome. But then in the sense of the Hollywood, when we went actually into Central Hollywood, We went to. It's called the TCL Chinese Theatre now.
Okay, what used to be called?
I think it was Grom's Man's Chinese Theatre, but it's changed names over
the
the
famous
years.
Chinese theatre that everyone gets the big premieres at.
Yeah, they had the 1977 Star Wars premiere at, and out the front it's got the Hollywood Walk of Fame, where it's got all the stars and all the stars' names on it. And then you've got also the handprints. It's probably like a couple of blocks, like 3 blocks maybe. And then out the front of the Chinese theatre, it's got the concrete where all the movie stars have their handprints and footprints.
Yeah, Stan Lee just did that one too.
Yeah, Stan Lee was there. All sorts: Steven Spielberg, Harrison Ford, Tom Cruise, Bruce Willis. And usually they've got kind of little quips there. Arnold Schwarzenegger had his "I'll be back." John Wayne. So it goes from like 1940s to present day celebrities. Harry Potter. They had the Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint had all theirs there. They had Twilight on, whoever.
Did you do some Harry Potter stuff as well?
Yeah, Universal Studios had Harry Potter World. And again, they had it in Japan as well. But this one was pretty much the same thing. You've got, it's not Diagon Alley per se, but you've got the Hogwarts Express. You've got the bar that I don't know what it's called. It's got antlers on it. There's something or other. Whatever that is.
There's Hogsmeade, which is the one from...
Let's say it's Hogsmeade. Probably Hogsmeade's there. I don't know. But this is something and something. I don't know what it is.
You had Butterbeer there?
Yeah, we had Butterbeer.
Hogsmeade.
Butterbeer is awesome. They have that in a little like cart that they wheel along.
What was it? Is it just like syrup?
It's kind of like creaming soda with honey in it.
Oh.
And froth on top.
Oh.
It tastes awesome though.
Because I've seen some recipes online. I'm like, oh, maybe do you want to try it?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then you get to go. They got Hogwarts Castle, which looks massive. It's not to scale.
It's that misleading kind of.
Yeah.
Like the Disney castle is just like scaled weird, so it looks huge.
Yeah, it looks. I think it falls back on behind, but that's the ride that you go into. It's Ride of the Hippogriff. But I'm too fat to go in Japan to go on it, and I was also too fat to go on it in America.
Cool.
I thought I'd have the advantage of being like in America where everyone's supposedly fat, but nobody ever is.
So there was no fat people?
I was the fat person.
Oh, wow.
And a couple of other people. And then I went to Target. I'm like, this is going to be sweet. I'm going to get some sweet swag and t-shirts.
I'm going to get some sweet fat clothes.
And I'm like, 3XL? What is this shit? And it was like 3XL was like normal 3XL. I'm like, where are the 7XL shirts? We're in America, come on. I was disappointed there.
I think that's middle America, yeah.
Hopefully. Maybe I'll have to go back. Yeah, not skinny LA America. But you get to go on Hogwarts to get to the ride. And on the way up, it's got all the paintings on the wall that talk to each other. And they're all having little conversations. Dawn French was there doing her thing and her painting. And that's pretty awesome. Just being able to go inside of Hogwarts for Harry Potter fans. There's a show that they do.
The same thing. Like, to me, that would be moving. Did you? Was there anything that gave you that sort of just... Because like you're not an overly emotional person, but was there a moment where it just became
I wanted it to, but I don't know. I don't think so.
So, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I would have been like, Harry Potter. Is it like,
yeah.
So I'm an emotionally broken person, so I'm just like.
Well, a lot of the things that I wanted to do for years and years ago, like the King Kong thing, they didn't have anymore. Back to the Future ride was a big one for me when I was a kid watching it. They had that in Japan, but it was just about to be replaced by Minions, which it had been at this place. So they had Minions Land. But literally in Japan, they had the Back to the Future ride, and then they built this Minions crap right in front of the entrance. So you didn't know it was there unless you went around behind it. They had Terminator 2 3D, Battle Across Time, that I was excited to go and see from back in 1997. That was in Japan, but it was all in Japanese, so I kind of got the idea of what was happening. But here, they don't have it anymore. I don't know. The Mummy thing, get rid of that. Come on. Nobody gives a crap about the Mummy. Get rid of that. It's wasting space. But yeah, just to be able to go and see Hollywood, and like you expect Hollywood to be glamorous, but it is mostly tourists. And like literally I don't know, I expected it to be blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks and blocks. And literally the Chinese theater is on one street, and the next street over is like a couple of hotels, and then behind that is the hills, the Hollywood Hills, and then you've got the sign in the background. But it's not very big. And everything when we got to LA was like washed out. It's like 30 degrees on a good day. And then it goes up to like 40 or down to maybe 27. So everything seems dead. Like all the trees,
all the colors are sort of blown out.
Yeah, like everything's just washed out. It's grey freeways. The plants are all dead or like very faded. A lot of stuff's out in the exposed sun, so they don't repaint signs or anything. So it just looked very like sad, and I wanted to be vibrant. When we went to Las Vegas, it was very like they water everything, and the neon lights are kept up to grade, and everything's vibrant and
loud. Yeah,
felt like what I expected Los Angeles to be. There are a lot of people dressed as different things. Their full-time gig is to dress as Spider-Man. And then they shake your hand and be like, "Hey, you want a picture? All right, that's $15." So there was Spider-Man, Catwoman, Captain America, Bumblebee.
They look solid, but
no, the horrible costumes. Most of them, I assume, were just homeless people that dress up. And yeah, then there was a lot of homeless people around as well.
Wow,
right in the center of Hollywood. So you got the contrast of, the rich, glamorous world and the giant mansions that everybody has, and then like a huge amount of homeless people just on the streets.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a contradiction.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd be like, yeah, it's pretty much everything I expected. It's glitz, it's glamour, it's cool. I was like, no.
I was kind of like,
So did it tarnish what you know America to be?
Well, what I thought America would be is everything that people kind of like do as stereotypes, like Americans are loud and obnoxious and they're all overweight and they have ridiculously sized meals, and not really. Like everyone was really nice. We took a lot of Ubers around, so we got to talk to the Uber drivers for 40-minute drives here and there, and we asked them the same kind of questions all the time. A lot of people don't like Los Angeles. They're kind of like, I came from here and now I'm in Los Angeles, and don't like the kind of wanky Hollywood lifestyle.
Then why are they still there? Did you ask that question?
Yeah, I said it was like because they moved there with their family or something and expected this kind of lifestyle. It does seem to be a lot of that. You're either there to try and make it, so you're like trying to be an actor, but by day you're doing waitressing jobs, Ubering, yeah, that too. A lot of people, like pretty much all the Uber drivers were like, I work a day job and then I Uber for like 11 hours. So that's pretty full on. And then there was a lot of people with the waitressing, of course. Tips was the thing that we were concerned about. So tipping is kind of like 20% to 5% of your meal, depending on the service.
Yeah.
We were like, we don't know how to tip. We don't know what to do.
Did you tell them that?
Yeah. Like, how do you tip? What do I do? So essentially, most places on the receipt, it'll tell you what 20% is, what this is. So you can say, I'll give them $5, or I'll give them $6, give them $7. And it kind of ranks as medium, good, excellent.
Yeah.
So the Ubers you can tip as well. And a lot of the Ubers we tip because they were really nice people and tell your life story. We had some guy from Philadelphia, had a guy from India, had a woman from Mexico, had a woman from Iran. And yeah, just telling their story of how they came to be here, what they're trying to do. They're studying to do this or supporting the family to do that. Or I'm actually this, but I'm doing an Uber job in the meantime just because there's no jobs that kind of do that. It's fascinating.
Man.
And everyone was really nice. I didn't meet anybody who was like rude. The customer service is, because they're going for tips, very like big smiles,
very like
friendly
shit, yeah.
Yeah, but in a nice way. Like literally, like you take a drink and you put it down and they've swapped your drink out like straight away. Like refills everywhere, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know, because California is massive, and we were staying in Anaheim, and then it's 45 minutes to get to Hollywood.
Oh, that makes more sense, because I didn't know where you were staying. So yeah, if you're in Anaheim, yeah.
And it's about 45 minutes to get to LAX, and it's about 45 minutes to get to, I can't remember where it was that we went and saw Jerry Seinfeld, wherever that was. But yeah, essentially everywhere you go, it was in like a 45-minute radius, which is, when you think about it, almost like driving from Geelong to Melbourne.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like everywhere. But massive. Yeah, and it took about was it about 4.5 hours to get to Las Vegas?
Yes, I think that's the big misconception. Is for me at least, I always thought they were sort of close.
Well, 4 hours isn't too bad.
No, it's not that bad.
But still,
yeah.
And then you got San Diego, which is a little higher up, or San Francisco, which is even further. But yeah, it was good.
Would you go again?
Hollywood. I think I would go again.
What would you do different?
What would I do different? Well, I'd choose my season better because we came to the end of the television season.
Yeah.
So they had Fuller House filming there, and they had Raven's Home, which is a Disney Channel sequel to That's So Raven. Big Bang Theory was shooting at the same time as well. Yeah, so we tried to go to Big Bang Theory. We got tickets to a couple of shows that just didn't work out to get to go. But every day we seemed to have a show. We were trying to go to Jimmy Kimmel live, and Jimmy Kimmel was right near Hollywood, so that would have worked best. We went and saw Conan O'Brien, which was in Burbank, and we managed to go see Conan O'Brien. That was really cool. James Corden was one of the ones we were trying to get tickets to as well. But yeah, because we had one thing each day, we could only do so much in the morning and then plan a 45-minute trip to each thing, so it was kind of mandated. So I'd choose 3 awesome things I wanted to go through show-wise, and then spend a day in between resting, and then the next day like just hotel lounging around, because it's constantly on your feet traveling around. Just get exhausted,
man. Yeah. Look, you've still got me excited. I'm still keen. I still want to go. We'll find a way to go. Maybe in a couple of years, and PopC's maybe bigger. Who knows? So I want to because like my plan would be obviously LA and New York. Yeah,
New York would definitely be one to go to. I think New York would be a little more condensed.
Yeah, I think it'll be very much. For me, it would essentially be
New York City.
Yeah, New York City, I should say. For me, it would be pretty much. Well, because New York, and then we could just like take the 1.5, 2 hour drive to Jersey. Go go the stash and then head back.
Yeah, they did have a stash in LA, but it closed down a few years ago.
Yeah, like way back.
Yeah. But the good thing about LA is that it's like Hollywood. So they had the Emmys on the Sunday. I didn't realize that the Emmys were going to be there. So we went to Vegas on the Sunday, but the Emmys were literally like 45 minutes away from where we were. There was the Ninjago movie premiere.
Oh,
so
wow.
You could go on the red carpet, and they had Jackie Chan and James Franco and people like that. And you get tickets to the premiere of the movie. There was a preview screening that I was trying to get. I wanted to get one of the surveys, the advanced screenings where you kind of write down what you think. What do they call those? Test screenings?
Yeah.
And we applied for one. It was called Untitled. What was it? Untitled Action Adventure Movie. And there was a question that said, "Have you seen how many out of these 7 movies or 6 movies have you seen?" And one was Jurassic Park. Another one was Godzilla. Another one was King Kong. Another one was Pacific Rim. And so I assumed that it was Pacific Rim 2. Yeah. So I watched Pacific Rim on the way there, on the plane again, just to refresh. But yeah, it was busy. Then we got tickets to the Thursday one, which was another one, but we had to leave before that.
What was the questions on that one?
I didn't check because I couldn't go. But yeah, you can kind of like get those test screenings anytime. It's like there's comedy shows every year. There's like 7 of the massive comedy bars where up and coming people started. Letterman, Leno, all the massive ones. Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle. We were going to get tickets.
They got me all excited again.
Yeah, I mean Dave Chappelle was there the week before. We missed that. So we got Jerry Seinfeld, which is up in the tiers of comedians. I was checking for Louis C.K. All the podcasts are there. The Kevin Smith and
did you try for Kev?
He was the week before. Yeah. But yeah, literally like comedians, A-list comedians.
You got to improv.
Yeah, like Tim Allen was doing a show. David Spade, like all the A-list ones. And it's
what? David Spade's doing stand-up?
Yeah, he was at one of the comedy clubs, and it's like only like $15, $20. James Belushi has an improv thing on Friday nights. Jay Leno does every Sunday at a comedy bar, and it's like $15 to get in because it's commonplace for them. Whereas if they traveled overseas to us, it'd be like $200 a ticket. So literally, there's something awesome to see, and if you're a fan of pop culture or American culture, it's constant.
I love American culture.
I know. So if you were there for like 3 months, you'd see so many different things at like cheap prices.
If I didn't have a son that I cared about,
you could take him along. He loves David Spade. Joe Dirt.
Damn. I'm very jealous. Very jealous, at least.
And then the sporting, of course.
The sporting.
Well, there was a couple of games of NFL I was going to check out, or the baseball.
Now you're talking who's playing?
Got Dodger Stadium there.
Yeah.
The Dodgers versus somebody or other.
Okay.
But the NBA season, which is what I really want to check out, doesn't start.
Oh.
It doesn't start till.
Oh yeah, sorry, because the game always comes out just before the season. Yeah.
So so many things, so many more things.
We'll find a reason to go.
Yeah. Well, we can go see Comic-Con. Would be amazing.
Oh God, that was San Diego. Would be insane.
Comic-Con.
My goal would be E3. Personally.
E3 as well. Yeah. Well, they're not around the same time, though, are they?
No. Well, actually, they're about a month off each other.
Oh, you go for 2 months.
Yeah. God, Millie would kill me. But we would have to Uber.
Yeah. And never come back.
No.
Because you'd be gone.
You couldn't afford to get back.
You'd be out.
I'm Ryan Besson.
I'm Dylan Bud.
That was PopCorn. If you want to reserve your seat, Fridays 9 a.m. Fridays 9 a.m. on YouTube's and all podcast services around the world. If you want to join the conversation, head to facebook.com/PopCulturists as well as our Facebook community group. And if you want to have a good, solid conversation, head to the Discord channel. Link is in the description below. But if you really do like what we do, you can head over to patreon.com/thepopculturists. There might be a tier there that interests you. And one of them may even take us to America. No, not really. Would be awesome though. You remember how you finish it?
That's a wrap.